excited that you're here tonight. And I just want to quick do a introduction and let you know how tonight's going to work. And then I'll tell a little bit about my story and in another subject here tonight. Sarah, can you mute everyone else? I can still hear some background noise. I don't know if new people are getting on. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so welcome everybody. I just wanted to say, it's nice to have everybody on. Tonight we're going to have a bunch of different coaches present and talk to you. Each coach will tell their own personal story and why they got started into the coaching opportunity. And then we're also going to be sharing like one thing that you might, we've kind of learned through time that there's certain subjects that people instinctually, if that's a word, wonder about or question or want to know more about. So I'm going to quickly tell you our agenda. I'm going to talk about not being the salesperson. And then Kay is going to talk about not having enough time, because that happens to a lot of us. And Nathan is going to talk about team camaraderie. And Sarah Boldwin's going to talk all about the money, because that's a big one. Everybody wants to know about the money. And I believe Christy is going to jump in. This is a last minute ad and just talk about challenge groups. I'm trying to read actually messages as I'm on this video, so this is kind of tricky. And then Sarah Bry will wrap up and she will answer the question, so where do we go from here? So I think part of my story tonight is kind of funny. I am sitting in bed with my little guy, and I just think it's funny because before this call, so many of us were like, oh, we have to get the kids to bed and we need to get this done and that done. But the best part about this business and the reason my why is my kids, and the other nice part about this business and why I have continued to do this is it's something that you can do at home. I'm literally snuggled in my bed right now. My little guy has an audiobook on, but he's feeling really sad about his dad and I leaving in a couple of days. And so this just worked for me at this time because his dad's not home. So I'm like, whatever, jump in bed. This is what we're doing. We're rocking and rolling. And he's super excited to be kind of on the call. He keeps looking up here and looking at everybody. He can't hear what you're saying. But so that is not necessarily my story, but it's definitely part of my why. My ultimate goal would be to I'm a teacher, so my ultimate goal would be to spend more time with my own kids at home. Every day I give, 120% to 25 little kindergartners, but then I come home and so often feel like, I have zero left in my tank for my own kids. And so I'm trying to change that and make that my, I don't know how to say it, a life by design, so that I have the opportunity to either go part-time or to stay home. And Beachbody has afforded so many great opportunities that really is something that is in the back of my head and is a real possibility. So that is a little bit about me. Like I said, I didn't even tell you my name. My name is Erin, sorry. I'm a kindergarten teacher. And so the thing that I'm going to be talking to you about today is not being a salesperson. When I think of a salesperson, I think of, the dirty, greasy guy at a used car lot. And so I hope that's not me. Being a kindergarten teacher, that is a service job. I clearly did not go into it for the big bucks. So it is a job that I don't have to sell anything during my day job. So I'm not necessarily a salesperson by nature. But I am somebody who's very passionate, and my personality is someone who really loves to share when things are awesome. So, like 15 years ago, the Dyson vacuum came out, and holy smokes, that was right up my alley. And, I'll be damned if my whole family didn't buy a Dyson vacuum because I just thought they were the coolest thing ever. So that's just a little bit about me. You might not be that way, but you don't have to be any certain way. You can do this business just by sharing. And that's the great thing about this business. So some wise person on our last call said, don't think of yourself as a salesperson, think of yourself as a shares person. And I just thought that was really cool way to put it. So think of it like you're not selling anything to anybody. You're telling people what works for you and possibly inspiring other people, or inviting them to see if it would work for them too. So when I got started in this journey, I started with 21 Day Fix. It was great. I thought it was awesome for women. It came with the meal portion thing, containers, and it had weights involved, and it just worked for me instantaneously. And I loved it. It was something different every day. And so it was very easy for me to get on social media or to privately message people and say, oh my gosh, this has worked for me. I can see you live a lifestyle similar to mine. You're busy. You have kids. You might only have a half hour a day to work out, or you don't have a lot of time to think about food. Let me show you what's working for me, because I can see this working for you. And that seemed very natural. I was excited about the product, and it was a very natural thing for me to do. So you really, in this business, you're really not selling any products. You are teaching other people how to share your journey, and hopefully inspiring people as a coach. And thus, you do end up selling things, but you're not being a salesperson, if that makes sense. That's all I have to say, and I'm going to turn it over to Kay. She's going to talk about her story and, again, not having enough time. Kay, you're up.
All right, thanks, Erin. Can everybody hear me? Good. Sorry, we were having technical difficulties this weekend with my computer, so I'm back on my phone, so I apologize. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Kay. I am a nurse practitioner. I am a Beachbody coach, and I signed up last fall, actually, as a coach. So I've been a coach for just about 6 months. And I am also a mom of 3 teenage boys. I work about 40-ish hours a week. I do call one night a week and one weekend a week, or one weekend a month. As many of the parents in this group, I have active teens. So we spend many hours in the evening at practices, shuttling back and forth after school, after work, spending weekends in gymnasiums around the state and out of state. And so when this business opportunity was approached by my coach, my first outpouring was, yeah, I don't have time for that. And so it's ironic now, 6 months later, that I'm actually speaking on how you actually can make time and find time. My aha moment wasn't about trying to make an additional 24 hours in the day, since we all have the same 24 hours. We all work out of the same 12 to 16 hours. I was trying to reprioritize where I spent my time. So looking at this coaching opportunity, one of the things that struck me was that the opportunity to grow was coming naturally with stuff that I had reprioritized in my life as I was working out and I was eating better and I had started sharing. And that amount of time was there regardless of whether or not I took a step and said I wanted to coach. What I found after that was to sit in a counseling office and having every excuse in the book of how I don't have enough time after work to get an extra job because I needed the extra money. I don't have the time to spend more than 30 minutes working out a day because I have charts to do and I have kids to run around, and I just went on and on and on in my counseling office one day. And she looked at me and said, so what I'm hearing from you is that it isn't a priority to you to try to make a change, or to change what your actions are, change what you're doing, or it seems like you have lots of excuses why this won't work. But when you sit down and tell me up front, this is what I want to do, why are all these excuses getting in the way? So fast forward, that was back in the summer of last year. Fast forward a few months, and I made some pretty significant life changes, personal changes. And one of those things was I did figure out how to fit in 30 minutes a day. And sometimes I fit in an hour a day. And what I ended up doing is to take a calendar and write down everything that I was spending my time doing, from the time I woke up to the time I went to bed. And I looked back at that and found the pockets of time that really added up over the course of a week to hours of wasted time. So hours sitting in a gymnasium watching warm-ups when I could be doing something else productive. The transportation piece of things, I always felt like I had to do. And there's a prioritizing now that I don't have the guilt that I had if I'm not the one to take my kids to practice, but I am the one that's going to be there to cheer them on at their games. And if I need help, I reach out, which was something that I wasn't good at doing for many, many years. My oldest is almost 20, and I didn't take the time to ask for help for all the years that he was growing up. So for me to then say now, you know what, this is something that's important to me. Somebody can get him to or from practice and it's going to be okay, was a big step for me as well. I also look at my week on Sundays now. So there are things that come up that you can't plan for, and I totally understand that, and we all have that in our lives. But one of the things that I was taught through this coaching opportunity and the personal growth that I've done is that I can pick apart my days and plan accordingly to scheduling things that are needs and wants and must-dos. And that I have found, like I said, hours of previously unproductive time. I am not a big television watcher. I don't have a Game of Thrones or any of those other television addictions. And my kids can attest to, we don't really spend much time in front of the television. But when I looked at my week last year compared to this year, I would sit down in front of the television every night just to veg out, or I would sit on my phone and scroll through Facebook instead of using that time to be productive. So I guess my bottom line message is that we all have the same 24 hours a day to work with. Each of us have our own lives, our own families, our own priorities, our own jobs. This opportunity for coaching can take as few minutes a day as you choose to put into it. And you can reap benefits from 30 minutes a day of additional time outside of your workout to several hours a day and reap more financial benefit. One of the things that is fantastic with this is, as a Beachbody coach, you are a CEO and owner of your own company. And unlike any other business, you get to dictate how much time you spend, how much effort you put in. And if you want to do this as a discount coach and you just are here to share as friends and family ask you what you're doing, that's fantastic. And it takes a few minutes of your day. If you want to do the opposite end of the spectrum and go all in and make this into a career of yours, there are literally hundreds of people that you will meet or have contact with that spend a few hours a day doing additional work. And then there's those that may spend more, but truly that's the best part of it, is you can pick and choose your pockets of time, your 10 or 15 minutes here and there throughout the course of the day. You can pick and choose your day of the week that you're going to go all in, or you can be consistent every day of the week to add an extra hour. And that's the power of this company, and how the sharing doesn't change for the time that you spend. The sharing is there, the growth is there. And I think that's one of the most impressive pieces that I've learned over the course of this last 6 months, when my first inkling was, I don't have time. I didn't have time to sleep. I didn't have time to eat. And when you look at it, I have all the time in the world. It's about what priority I put first. So that's my little spiel. I'm going to turn this over to Nathan, and he's going to talk about the coaching community and the network of people that we have here as Beachbody coaches.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Just go ahead and call me Nate. So I'll share a little bit of my story here first before I get into the camaraderie side of things. I started even just as a challenger here back in January, and it was in February that I knew that I needed to become a coach. The experience with the accountability groups and kind of the growth that came with sharing with everyone, and everyone kind of being on the same journey here, I realized that I had the potential to have a positive impact on other people, and that was the biggest allure for me for coaching, and it's kind of one of my true passions. That kind of makes for a good segue into the camaraderie side of things. There's a quote that I love that kind of resonates with the essence of camaraderie and kind of what we all do here together. It's surround yourself with those on the same mission as you. And that's really kind of what I view. Most of the people here on this call are coaches, and we've all kind of been doing this for varying lengths of time. But one thing, that a common thread that we all share, is that we have a passion for helping other people improve their lives. Is it a business? Yes, it is. But you can't do this, you can't be successful in any part of this if you really don't care about helping other people improve their lives. So that being said, there's something else, about this group of coaches and the whole upline and the network of coaches that you're going to meet. And, really it's that we're all, to varying degrees, we're all in it every day. Some of us do it a few minutes a day, some of us do it an hour, some of us do it multiple hours. But the thing that you're going to find is that we all care about the people that we're trying to help. We all care about each other. And that is really something that it's kind of tough to put into words what the camaraderie kind of does for you, except to say that it will elevate your game. It will help you show up to this every single day. It will make you better at what you are trying to do. And everybody that you bring on board with this will be better served for it because of the connections and the camaraderie that we have with everyone else here. Beachbody does a really, really good job as far as promoting that teamwork and that camaraderie. And so we have live events averaging at least once a quarter. And I was able to just go to my first one here a couple of weekends ago. I forget what day it was, but Super Saturday in Grand Rapids for the people in this area in Michigan, and it was incredible. There's when you put hundreds of people in a room together that kind of are all on the same mission, that have the same mindset, that have the same passion to help everybody. And a lot of times this is the first time you're meeting these folks in person too. It's incredible. It's a chance to kind of get caught up with what's new in the company, to connect with these people that we see on Facebook and we see online, but to connect with them in person, to learn more about them, learn more about their stories and what they're doing with their people to kind of foster that growth. It's incredible. So for as great as Super Saturday is, Summit's coming up in July in New Orleans. And I can't even speak to what that experience is going to be like because it'll be my first one, but I'm really excited. So I don't really have much more to say than that, except that, let me say this. If you have doubts of becoming a coach, keep in mind that somebody is going to be able to identify with a piece of your story or a piece of your journey to some degree. And that may be the push that they need to help make that change. And if you become part of this community of coaches, we're all here for you, and we're all here to help you do what you do at a higher level than what you can do yourself. So that's pretty much it. And I'll be honest, I forgot who's going next. All right, Sarah Boldman.
Me. Yeah, no, Nate, those are great. That was great because it's so true that, there's something to be said about being connected with people that have kind of like the similar mindset as you. It's different than having like, oh, I have friends, and we all have our own friends that might not be coaches, but there's definitely something different with the connection we all have with what we do with our businesses. Granted, they're all at varying degrees. Like Nate said, some of us work a little bit per day because of our schedules, and some of us put more time in depending on what's going on, but we all kind of have the same mission and outlook on things and on life, which makes us even more connected. So it's a really cool way of looking at it, and that's totally true. Okay, my topic is about money, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. My name's Sarah Bollman, and I have been a coach for 3 years. I started up when I had 3 children at the time. My youngest had turned 1. And one of my friends knew that I was trying to lose the last 10, 15 pounds of baby weight. You know, I had struggled with it. I tried Weight Watchers, and Weight Watchers works, but every time I went off it, you know, I would gain the weight back. And also Weight Watchers kind of promotes like eating anything, but I think the system's changed. But at the time, you know, you could eat a piece of pizza and then you couldn't eat anything else the rest of the day kind of thing, you know, so it was just not good for the mindset for me, at least. It might work for other people, but it didn't work for me. So so she had talked to me about the 21-day fix. That was brand new at the time, and I was ready to try something different, and it was a totally different way of looking at food, and I loved it. So I did it, and I lost the weight. You know, I lost every single pound that I wanted to lose. And I was like, oh my gosh, 3 weeks. I've been trying this for years. You know what I mean? And I was just so excited. I was sharing just kind of naturally, and people sort of became interested that way. So she had reached out to me and said, you should really try this coaching thing. And I'm like, you know, I have 3 kids. I have a full-time job. You know, I'm a school social worker, and I don't know about that. And she said, you know what, you can make commission off of all those referrals you're giving me, and it would have paid for your product. And I was like, all right, well, I'll do that. I'll give it a try for a month because the initial fee is so cheap, and it's free if you've purchased a challenge pack. It's so cheap that I'm like, well, okay, well, I'll at least try to get my money back. And so I started it, and I became addicted. Like immediately was like loving I already loved the products. I already loved Shakeology. I already loved all the other stuff. But like the relationships and the challenge groups and all of that other piece I fell in love with. And I started growing my business pretty quickly. In fact, like I think my heart was in it. So when your heart's in it, things just kind of happen naturally. And I just started growing my business really quickly. And, you know, it was never a thing where I thought maybe I could someday do this for a living. I never thought that. My upline coach, who is incredibly successful with the business, had kept saying, you know, you could do this. And I'm like, waffling on it, even though I loved it and I was totally committed. Well, a year in, well, let me back up a little bit. I had always talked to my husband about moving back to our hometown. We were living in Illinois. That's where I met him. We bought a house there. We had children there, you know, and I've always wanted to move back to my hometown. As we had each additional child, I was like, really wanted to go back. But he was like, no, we can't afford it. The transition is tough. Buying a house, selling a house, making sure we have 2 jobs, blah, 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 blah. Well, about a year into my Beachbody business, I had brought it up again to my husband because I was now making a significant income. And he said, well, actually, I have been thinking about it. And I was like, what? Like, what's going on? And so, long story short, we did end up moving to Michigan, and only with one of us securing a job. We wouldn't have been able to do it without 2 of us securing a job before Beachbody. I had the Beachbody income that was coming in, that was helping us, and then only one of us secured a job in the beginning, and then we moved. And now we're in a home we'll be in probably forever. And it's kind of like sort of a fixer-upper kind of house, but it's like perfect for our family. Well, in the meantime, we had a 4th child. So thank goodness we live with we live near our family because we get a lot of support from them. That was a surprise baby, but that's another story. So, so anyway, financially, that was a big piece. And then just recently, I had an opportunity, and I haven't shared it on social media yet. I will be soon. Recently, an opportunity came across my table where I there was an opening in our district for a part-time position, and I put in for it, and I got it because I knew I needed more time with my family, and I knew that Beachbody was certainly at a level where we can make it happen, and it would also give me more time to spend on my business, which I love. So I am going part-time next year, so I'm super excited about that, and I couldn't imagine life any different, because I know it would have been so different had I not started 3 years ago. So it's just kind of one of those things, you just never know if you take a chance on something, what could happen to your life. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the financial piece of it, because a lot of people get kind of nervous, like, what is this all about? Like, I don't know if I can do this kind of thing, or financially, I don't want to do this. But the financial input really isn't that much in the beginning. And so there's not a lot to risk. And that's what I'm going to talk about right now. First of all, when you become a coach, the coaching piece, as far as signing up, it's free if you have a challenge pack. If you're already drinking Shakeology, sign up as a coach tomorrow, please. Just do that. Do me a favor. Sign up as a coach tomorrow, because you can save money on your Shakeology. You're not required to sell anything. There's no like quota or anything. Beachbody's not forcing you to sell anything. You can become a coach just to receive the 25% off. And if you're drinking it, you're going to save hundreds of dollars per year on just the Shakeology, let alone if you decide to purchase anything else. It just makes sense. So upgrading would be free. If you have a military, if you have been in the military in the past, if your husband is in the military or is a veteran, your coaching fee and monthly fees are waived. And when I say monthly fees, the monthly fee is $15. So don't freak out like, oh, what's this monthly fee? It's $15, $15.95. There's no requirement to stay as a coach. You can quit at any time. There's no like contract you're signing. There's no, like I said, there's no minimum requirements each month. There's no inventory that you hold on to. There's none of that stuff. It's really just connecting with people. And that's the only piece we have to worry about, and running amazing challenge groups. That's what we do. Connecting with people, run amazing challenge groups, and work out. It's fun. Anyway, so how do we make money? Initially, making money, if you join as a Beachbody coach to make money, and not just for the discount, initially your income's going to come from commission, pretty much solely from commission. And we still do always make, we still do get commission. I'm not saying that stops at any point, but in the beginning, that's the only way you can make money is commission. You get a 25% commission in addition to your discount. So that's nice. And one thing to kind of keep in mind is that this is a place where you can earn residual income. And what residual income means is, for example, let's say you're running a challenge group in May. And if you don't know what challenge groups are, we're going to talk about that in a minute, so don't worry about it. Run a challenge group in May, and you're talking to people about it, and you invite people, and you get 2 people to purchase Shakeology and like the all access on-demand package, and they have a workout program they picked out. So you have 2 Shakeology HD customers, which are people that are drinking Shakeology. And then they join your challenge group for May. And then you have a June challenge group, and you talk to people about it in May. And you get 2 more people, okay? So you now have the 2 people that you just signed on and the 2 people from the previous month, assuming they continue to drink Shakeology, which they don't have to. But I would say 9 times out of 10 people continue to drink it, especially if you completely understand the benefits of Shakeology and you're conveying that to other people, because Shakeology is the best on the market. And so you see how it compounds, and if you kind of add month to month to month, your income's going to grow just from that piece alone. Now let's fast forward to, let's say 3 months in the business, maybe even sooner, okay? You decide you want to build a team. Okay, building a team is where the bigger money comes from. Because this business isn't about the daily grind of like, oh, I got to make commission, I got to make sales. No, it's not about that. It's about growing a community of like-minded people who enjoy health and fitness, who enjoy helping others. And that's what we do. Okay, so we grow that. We're inviting people. And that's why you're on this call, because you were invited by someone who cared enough for you, who thought that you might be this might benefit you, and that they want to work with you. I mean, so it's really just a compliment in that regards. So building a team is where financially you're going to start benefiting even more, okay? So what happens is once you start building a team, Beachbody, I'm not going to go into the specifics because it gets a little confusing and you don't need to know all that until you sign up as a coach, and then you can really start learning about that. But what Beachbody does is they reward you for how well your team's doing, okay? So if your team is is, we call it cycling, a certain amount of times, you can earn, what they do is you earn X amount of money per cycle. Okay, so you don't need to know any more about that. But what happens is, as your team grows and grows and grows, your team starts cycling, and you can earn up to $12,000 per week in team cycle bonus alone. And as you grow your business, ultimately you can, at the max, have 25 business centers. I'm not saying you can become a Beachbody coach and open 25 business centers. You're not going to do that. So you can kind of see how that income can grow to quite a bit. There are plenty of Beachbody coaches in this business that have been in the business for 5 years and are in the millionaire club. So it's pretty incredible what you can do, no matter what you're doing. If you work a full-time job or if you don't, like my story. I worked a full-time job and now I'm going part-time. So you can do it on that with children. I have 4 kids. It's something to kind of keep in mind. So, and you also have to remember that when you start building that team and you start cycling and you start doing all this, you're building an income that is going to build upon itself. So it's not one of those things where, okay, next month I got to do this again. No, it's residual. It grows organically. Like there's some weeks I don't sell anything and I have a sizable check coming in every Thursday, or I don't have any new challengers. Doesn't matter. My team is rocking it. It's not that I rely on them, but the team is big enough where people are sharing and they're growing and it just happens. And then I share and grow and I help my coach. It's kind of one of those things. So I hope that makes sense to you. There's lots of other ways to make money. I'm not going to go into the specifics about all the little other details, but these are the main ways. And then the third one that I would say is kind of a bigger one. Once you build to a certain level in your business, Beachbody does start rewarding you with quarterly bonuses, which means you get a piece of a pie in with certain rank advancements that are quite sizable. And it totally depends on how well the company's doing at the time, but the company is growing exponentially. It's growing fast. So if that tells you anything about how effective it is, or how wonderful this company is, that's proof in the pudding right there. Anyway, so that's kind of, in a nutshell, the financial piece of it. It's a great opportunity. It's really a great way to earn money and a great way to do it in such a positive way and in such a way that impacts other people, and such a way where you meet other people and you connect with other people on a deeper level than if you were, and I'm not knocking people, but people who are doing like the nail stuff or facial cream, or you know what I mean? I don't even know some of those other MLMs, but I'm just saying, like, there's a different, deeper level that we do in this business that I really appreciate. Anyway, well, I'm going to pass this on to Christy, who's going to talk about challenge groups a little bit. If you haven't participated in a challenge group, she's going to tell you a little bit about that, because that's kind of like the bread and butter of what we do and how we help other people and how we connect with people. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to her.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yes, I was just about ready to jump on to help you out.
Everyone hear me?
Yes. Can she hear us though?
Thank you. My Christy Bugdevine, and I can. Yeah, I can hear you. And I have been a coach now for 2.5 years. And I actually started as a discount coach. And like Sarah said, I did it just for the discount. I liked Shakeology. I liked the programs. And I did that for a whole year. But then there were some months that I had 5, 6, 7 people buy challenge packs. And Sarah kept bugging me and saying, you can do this. And you're already doing it. You might as well start to build a team and start to earn some more income. And so I am a teacher as well. And so that summer they were at Summit, and I saw all the camaraderie and the fun they were having that Nathan talked about, and was like, I'm in, let's do this. And so I started in July of 2015. Yes. And then in July of 2016, I attended my first summit, and it was awesome. So it is 10 times more awesome than those Super Saturdays. So Nathan, get ready. But it's full of learning and being with your team, and just, being together and filling your bucket more. So that's kind of my little intro as a coach. I do teach, and so this is something that I can do at night. I do a lot of stuff on the weekends, a lot of work for my challenge groups on Sundays. I sit and work on those for the week, front load my posts so that those go, and check in with challengers. So a lot of it is done on the weekend. And I know Kay talked about scheduling and things like that. That is huge. So a challenge group, though, I'm assuming many of you have been in a challenge group or are in challenge groups currently. But I'm just going to quick go through that. What a challenge group is, it is really an accountability group. So this business is we are people helping, not a sales business. It's I think somebody said it earlier, a shares person or sharesman business. So when you are doing something that you enjoy and you are getting results, you want to share a restaurant, you had good service, you share about it. And that's basically what this is that you are sharing the results you get, sharing the food that you're eating, and helping others along the way. So the first thing you'll do when you do a challenge group is you pick an amount of time. We have the 21-day groups that's kind of focused on the 21-day fix. And then sometimes 30-day groups, or even 60-90, depending on the different programs that you are doing. For example, right now, my group is a 21-day group, but I have a challenger doing Turbo Fire. I have others doing Court of Force. So I just have it's just a general fitness group. So it can be one program or multiple programs. And then the big thing is setting those expectations. So you could start with a Google form, and then with Facebook, having that live video is really nice now that you can get into your group, start them off with some live videos, talking with them about what to expect, what you expect from them. And then the Google form is great for getting their goals, getting their weights and measurements, things like that. And it is nice because then you can have it in one spot and all of your challenges are in there. So then the next thing is you have a daily post. I have found that I'm doing a daily check-in at the end of the day because I feel like it helps with the accountability. They assess their nutrition or their water or their sleep or something. Just one more accountability thing for them. And the big thing too is that you are doing the accountability group right along with your challengers. And I think that for me is huge because I am staying accountable to my fitness and nutrition with the help of my challengers. So you may think as a coach, we just kind of sit back and watch everybody, but that's not what happens. So that also, I know, I'm not sure if anybody talked about that, but being at your goal weight is not something in order for you to be a coach. So you can be on your health and fitness journey with a large amount of weight to lose or still a small amount of weight to lose and still be a good coach for your challengers. The one thing too that scared me in the beginning was resources or knowing what to post or meal plans, things like that. And in our team pages and through Beachbody, there are so many resources that are available to you. So that is something that your upline coach can help you with. So don't let that scare you, and don't let that be something that deters you from it. We are, like Nathan mentioned earlier, and a lot of us have mentioned, a team, and we help each other out. A lot of times we run challenge groups together with other coaches, so that helps too, to lighten the load. It's a place where we share meal plans, we share recipes. This is a place where you can invite your friends, your family, coworkers, classmates from high school, lots of different, people that you would be wanting to share this with. Also with, I lost my train of thought there. With challenge groups, one of the things that we focus on is anyone can go to the gym. Anyone can work out, but like I found that I would go to the gym and I never got the results that I got with the Beachbody programs. I was not a high school athlete, and so this shows anyone can do this. But I would kind of wander the gym not knowing what to do. Like I would do a few machines that I thought were good. I'd use the treadmill for a little bit, maybe the elliptical, and nothing really changed. So when I did the 21-day fix and lost the baby weight and things like that, that was awesome. And I was doing it in my own home. Nobody saw what I was wearing. They didn't care if I messed up, things like that. So that's something that is good about these accountability groups too, because no one knows if you're going to the gym or not. But when you're checking in with these accountability groups, when I was the first as a challenger, I would see somebody post in the morning, they got their workout done, and I'd be like, ooh, I better get up and get mine done, or I'd want to beat someone to it. So, I mean, just another way to hold you accountable, and your challengers are looking forward to those posts and seeing that their coach is doing the workouts. Couple last things. Sorry, I'm feeling a little long-winded. One of the things with the challenge groups is that some of these people that sign on with you as challengers may not have the support at home or with their friends or family. So you really need to be the support for them. You need to let them know that you believe in them. You need to tell them that, checking in with them, encouraging them, motivating them, because you may be the only one cheering them on. So that's something to keep in mind too. Like we've said, we love helping others. Most of us, if not all of us, have a passion for this, and we want to see others be healthy and lead fit and healthy lives. And yeah, it looks like one last thing. This business is a blessing, and we can help others and be rewarded with that. So I think that's it. If I missed anything, let me know. I think it's on to Sarah, Brad.
Thanks for being here, guys. My connection says it's going in and out too, so hopefully you can hear me. Thanks for hopping on the call and giving us your time. I got to tell you, I want to puke before I do any type of call like this or live event, because I always think, how do I capture what this business is? And I'm tasked with the closing. And how do you capture how this business has changed my life, how it has changed the lives of others? It's a lot. And I hope I do it justice. So you've heard from all of these amazing coaches, and I hope you're taking some notes or writing questions down, or feel free to ask, chat your questions on that little sidebar. But we really do want to thank you for being here. We can't push or pull you in a direction. We can only share our stories and our experiences. and hope that from that information, you can make a decision that's best for you and your family. We've all been in your shoes, every single one of us, and I'm going to intertwine my story probably in this closing, but you know, I remember being in your shoes wondering, is this the right decision for my family and for me? And I remember sitting on my deck with Erin Cermak. She lives in the same town as me. She's my upline coach and my son's kindergarten teacher. And I think I said no to a clean eating group 7 months prior to that. And out of the blue, I contacted her. I just knew something had to change, but I was scared. And so she came over. I was scared of failing. I was scared of not being able to do this. I didn't have any knowledge. I mean, you guys, this is a multi-level, this is a network marketing business. I knew nothing about network marketing. I'm a third grade teacher with 3 kids. So I'm a full-time mom, full-time teacher, and that was what I knew. Nothing about network marketing. Social media, forget about it. I was like 2 days away from canceling my Facebook account. I didn't know what Instagram was. I was like clueless. And I think what you need to remember about this job when you're thinking about this gift that, I mean, we call it a gift because that's what it is. I mean, I love it. I have found something I'm passionate about, and I think all of these coaches have. And it's not just a gift that we give to others. It's a gift to us. Like, it has saved me. And what you need to think about, I think, when you're making this decision is that this Beachbody doesn't depend on your looks, your age, your gender, whether you're an athlete or not, what level of education you have. It doesn't matter what your degree is. It doesn't matter if you're single, married, divorced, widowed. It doesn't matter if you've got to lose 100 pounds or if you want to gain weight. None of that matters. What makes it in this business is that you decide what you're capable of. That's it. And as humans, we are our own worst enemy, and we get in our own way. We get inside our own heads. So we could have all this belief in you, but it matters what you think you're capable of. And when I met with my upline coach, that's where I was lacking. I really had, on a scale of 1 to 10 in the confidence department, I was probably -8. Not gonna lie. Now I'm like a 12, baby. Woo! I'm kidding. It doesn't come that easy. But you need to think about and decide what you're capable of, and that's really what makes the difference. So and she did. She sat with me. She listened to my concerns and shared with me what she thought I was capable of, and really got me out of my head enough for me to take the leap of faith and say yes, because I knew I loved health and fitness. Worst case scenario, I thought, okay, I'll spend the $140 and I'll sign up to coach. And if it doesn't work out, I'm healthier than I was 6 months ago or a year from when I started. At least I'm healthier, and at least I'm making healthy choices, and at least my kids are going to see that. Worst case scenario. Okay, let that sink in. Your worst case scenario is that you are healthier. I don't know a lot of jobs where you can say that. So that's what I thought. And I did jump in full time immediately. I said, okay, what do you need to do? Because when I sat with Erin on my deck, I think I might have been in tears. And I just looked at her and said, I need your help. I was recently divorced. I was in debt up to my eyeballs. I was on the verge of losing my home. My number one concern were my kids and how to support them. And I had been in a zombie-like state for probably 18 to 24 months, where I was just trying to make it through the day. And you may not have a story like that, but somebody does. There's someone out there that has a story like that. There's some mom out there who's lost herself. There's there's some man out there in his 20s who might be 100 pounds overweight. There's someone who's suicidal. There's someone who's battling depression and anxiety. There's someone who is grieving, maybe the death of a loved one, or they just don't know how to get on track with their health. There's someone who has tried to get healthy and they feel like they failed at every single thing they've attempted. That's where we come into play. And that's what we do. We help those individuals with their health, with their fitness. But the physical part of it, and I think I said this on my last call, is the icing on the cake. Like that's the bonus, the physical transformation. What happens when you see someone truly change their life and you get a ringside seat to them transforming from the inside out? I mean, that is gold. This community is gold. Helping people change their lives in that way is gold. And I can't think of a greater purpose. I can't. So you were invited here because the person who invited you, and it's so cool, I see Karen Shavoka on. I mean, I graduated with her. I saw you and I'm like, whoa, there's Karen. But someone invited you here because they see that in you. They see that you have the potential to change lives. They see how it could help your family, but we're kind of like, we want to shake the world. Like we want to move the earth here with this. It's not just in our challenge groups, it's a ripple effect. And the more people we can reach, the happier we are. Because we know what it's done for us. We know what it's done for challengers, and we know what it can do for you. So your next steps. I almost forgot about next steps. I think your very next step, and please ask questions in the sidebar. And I would like it if you are a coach currently, or if you're thinking about this opportunity, to just type in what your fear was, your biggest fear about this, or your biggest, it doesn't even have to be a fear. You know, what was stopping you? Or maybe if you're on the call and you're brave enough to share why you're on the fence or why you're not sure, if you want to type that in, and then any of us can address that. Your next steps, I think, are just to be open-minded, ask questions, digest what you've heard, what you've seen tonight, and really think about whether or not this would be for you. And when I say really think about it, I mean take a brave look at your life and see if you are where you want to be. And we've talked about time. You know, Kay did a great job talking about time. We've talked about community and the money aspect of, and the money is great, you guys. My home was saved because of this business. And I've got, you know, a lot of coaches on here are teachers or work in the education department, and that's my goal. I want freedom of time. Money's great, but I want time. That's what I'm craving, the freedom of time. So I think it's just taking a brave look at your life and seeing where it can help you. Would this help with your accountability? Would this help financially? Would this help give you the freedom of time? Would this help your family? If you have an excuse on why, and I'm going to call it an excuse because I was full of them. If you have an excuse or reason, and my number one was time, and why this won't work, then see if you can turn that into the reason why you should do this. And just ask yourself if this is, after you take a brave look at your life and take some personal inventory to see if you're where you're at, ask if this is what you want to do. I was scared, absolutely scared on how I was going to fit this in. Single mom, 3 kids, working full time, trying to get my own life together. I mean, you guys, I was a wreck, an absolute wreck. You ask my family. I saw my family today. You know what they said to me? We are so grateful for Beachbody. My family said that because we have seen what it has done for you. And we're not talking about your money or your fitness. We are talking about your smile and how your face has been lit up this whole day. That is what my family was able to tell me today, because they saw me at my worst. And just think about when I was scared about what do I want to, adding one more thing to my plate. You know what scared me more? thinking about being in the same spot I was a year from now. So you better believe that I was willing to add one more thing to my plate because I did not want to be stuck where I was at in another 6 months. Did not want to be stuck be in the same place a year from now. I don't want to be living paycheck to paycheck 5 years from now. I don't want to be stuck in a job that's really, really stressful and I give and give and give, but I have no time for my own children. I don't want to be stuck. And this job affords you choices. So just think about, where you want to be at in 5 years and take a good look at your life and take that inventory, like I said. So your next steps would be just to talk to the person who invited you and ask them questions and be honest and take a gauge on where you stand. And really, there's 3 paths you can take to coaching. The first path is where Sarah talked about, at least be a discount. If you're drinking Shakeology, guys, this is not a scheme. This is not, you can't get a discount. Like my dad drinks Shakeology. Guess what? He's a coach because he gets a discount. He doesn't sell anything. He doesn't do anything with the business. Well, I take that back. He's in a lot of my pictures. He likes to be photographed. I found that out today. And he likes to be in my videos. So, but you have that choice. That's an option. Okay, I just want to get my Shakeology paid for. I love the products. I love the programs. So at least I'll do that. But this isn't for me. But I do want to start on my health and fitness journey or continue on with that. And you get the 25% off. That's actually how a lot of coaches start. Christy told you that's how she started. So that's one avenue. The second path is you might be thinking, I'm not really sure, but I'm just going to dip my toe in the water here. I see the value. I see where this, I like the products. I see where this can help people. And maybe I want to start by helping a few people. I have some friends and family who I think could benefit from this. And it would be really cool to get my Shakeology paid for. So that's a second path that you could take where you're going to dabble, maybe help a couple people or friends and family. The third option is that you're eventually someone who's in it to win it, man. Like baby, on a scale of 1 to 10, you are a 10 where you see the potential. You see how this opportunity can change your family's life. And the cool thing about this is you might start, like Christy had said, start on one path and change your mind. You might not even see the potential in this yet until you actually get into it elbow deep. But you think that you see that this is an awesome opportunity and you want to do it. You want to be a part of challenge groups. You want to be a part of the community, and you want to try to improve your life and the lives around you. You want to change people's lives. And I haven't ever been a part of another multi-level marketing program, like selling jewelry and wine and I don't even know what some of them are, but cheese. There's a cheese one. I don't know. But this is the one business where we actually give people an experience. We don't sell them a product and leave them. We give them an experience. And I've been working for Challengers for 2 years because I've almost been a coach for 2 years. And they've been with me since I started last July, and they're still with me. You don't leave people in this business. And that's what I like about it. And you'll just find that community, it envelopes you. It really does. So I think that women especially, and I know we have men on this call, but I'm going to try to wrap it up here, but women especially think, oh, I can't spend the money. I've got to give that to my family, or it's $140. You guys, like it costs like 60 grand to start a small business in the United States. We are talking $140, and you don't have to have a quota, and you could get your money back. But I would sell cheese. It's funny. Jessica said that. But a better question, I think, is why doesn't my family deserve this? Why don't they deserve a healthy mom? Or why doesn't my partner deserve a healthy spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend. Or if I'm a teacher or a principal or a doctor, why don't my patients deserve the best doctor? Why don't I deserve to be healthy? And share that with everybody else. So ask yourself, why don't you deserve this? I never dreamed that I would be in this spot. I never dreamed it. I never dreamed that I would still be in this home. I tucked my 3 kids into bed tonight, and I got all emotional because I knew I was coming on this call. And like I said, I almost threw up because I want to do it justice. The thought of changing lives it's everything. It's just such a passion for all of us. So I just never dreamed I would be in this spot. And I'm so thankful that I came across Erin Cermak's post, because that's what prompted me to call her. And I think about, if you could wake up and know that you're helping people and you are in awesome shape and you have freedom of time, and this job does allow you to travel. I mean, we've got several coaches traveling next week. There are so many benefits. And you just need to think, would you be willing to work from home? That's what it is too, or not just home, but anywhere that you have internet access. So these are things I think about, and it's really what drives me and my family. And I'm just so blessed and so thankful to God that I have been given this opportunity. So your next steps are to reach out to your coach and really think about if this could help you. And what's so cool about all these fears and doubts that you might have are, you work on that too. Every single day you work on that, because part of our job is to become mentally tough. And we do that through personal development. And we do that every single day. Well, most of us do it every single day. And coaches who haven't will tell you that's, they've changed that. So it's working on your mindset, and it's your mind, body, spirit, soul. It's all of it entwined. So I hope that, I hope I was clear on all that. Sometimes all my thoughts, they come out really clear, but then they're all jacked up to other people. So hopefully you got all that. I'm kind of looking at, Josh Coates would be proud of me. Yeah, I messaged him. He still has to get back to me. Like a little fish in a big pond there. Your fear is that people wouldn't care about what you had to say or share. Yeah, I had the same fear. Who's going to listen to me? I'll tell you who's going to listen to you. Whoever is connecting with the person that you are. Who are you to coach? You're someone who devotes time to health and fitness. You're someone who loves their family. You're someone who leads with a servant's heart. I feel like that's what this team embodies, when you have that servant's heart and you have passion to help others. So, but that's a real fear on social media too. Yeah, I told you, I almost canceled my account. And that's the one thing I said to Erin, I can't post on social media. God, I'm posting. I can't take a selfie. What? There's no way. And I think my goal was post twice a day. And you don't even post about the business. I think, 20% of my posts on my personal page were, 2 out of 10 were about the business. And I didn't even mention Beachbody. It was just about me, a meal I made, or a workout I did. So, all right. I want to see if we have any questions here. Coaches, did I miss anything? I think I spit all over my computer delivering that message. So, making time for what's important. My fear, Nathan's fear, was that what would happen if you didn't do it? Fear of regret. Yes. Fear of not putting yourself out there. That's awesome. The initial money commitment. Oops, computer's kind of. Oh, Erin, took your husband telling, no big deal to jump in. Yeah, Erin, do you remember? I think I sold. I had a friend say, why are you selling all this stuff on the DeWitt rummage sale? It was to buy my challenge pack. I sold stuff around the house because I had $0. I didn't even have a penny to spare. I'm like, you know what? Well, I'll sell this shirt and I'll sell these jeans. I don't need those. I'll sell this. And I cut cable too. So listen, you can't use money as an excuse. I'm sorry. You cannot. You've got to look at your priorities. And I caught cable. I did. I have it back now. For March Madness, I had to get it back. All right. Brody must get wanting to be in your videos from your questions do you guys have? Are there any questions? Coaches, unmute yourself so they don't have to just listen to me. My biggest fear was that if I couldn't give 100%, then why bother doing it at all? Would I get the time? Is that Jessica Cooper? Jessica, did you say that? Did you write that? Is she still on? It just says her iPhone.
I don't think she's on. I think she must.
Oh, okay. I have a lot of coaches say, when I do something, I go 100% in, and I can't give 100% to this. Listen, you don't have to. 100% could be your workout, your Shakeology, and sharing with others, and reading or listening to something that's going to improve your mind. That's 100%. Those 4 things. That's 100%. If you can do that, you're going in 100%. Talking to others is oh yeah, Teresa, you're great with it. Oh. And all these things, it's easy. You learn as you go. It's never perfect. I screw up a million times a day. And actually, most of my hosts that are dumb get the most engagement. All right. I don't see any other questions unless I'm missing them. You guys have anything else? We're good. Karen, it's so good to see your face on here. Serious. I don't even know if anyone I invited is on this, because a lot of the screens are blank. And that's what's cool. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I don't have anyone on this, because we work as a team. And I love that. I love that piece of it.
Well, and I know that a lot of people are going to listen to the recording. I have a few people that weren't able to get on. So it's all good.
Awesome. All right, that's all I got. You guys have anything else? Sarah, anything else?
No, I think we're good. So I'm going to go ahead and get the recording together. I'll upload it onto the event, and coaches, I will send it in a messenger to you all, so you can send it to any people that wanted to get on that couldn't get on, and you can send that to them, just so we can make sure they have all the info. So, all right. Well,
sounds good.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for hopping on. And, like Sarah said, just contact your coach, or they'll contact you, and see if it's something that could benefit your life. So have a great night, everyone.
You guys are awesome. Thanks. Good night.
Bye.